مرحبا، أهلا وسهلا فيكم وسلام للجميع في حلقة جديدة من حلقات منتدى الشباب على كنار TV صوت العرب من كندا. هذا المنتدى وجد من أجل أن نسمع رأي الشباب في أمور قد نشعر أنها بسيطة، ولكنها بالنسبة لهذا الشاب أو لهذه الشابة من الأمور المهمة في حياته. أمور تتعلق في وجوده في المجتمع الكندي، أمور تتعلق في صراعه الثقافي الذي يكون بين المنزل والمجتمع في الخارج، أمور تتعلق بما يراه في المنزل أو في الجامعة أو في المدرسة. كل هذه الأمور التي أحيانا نستحي كأهل أن نتكلم مع أطفالنا بها، أو نشعر أنها غير مهمة، أو نشعر أن هذه الأمور قد لا تصيب أبنائنا. هناك أمور كثيرة في المجتمع المحلي للأسف ككبار يعني نعتبرها أنها بعيدة عن أبنائنا، لكنها تحيطهم. هناك عدد ولا تحصي، الماريخوانا مثالا على ذلك، المخدرات، دخول بعض العصابات مثال، تغيير الجنس، بوي فريند والجيرل فريند. كل هذه الأمور موجودة في المجتمع، ويجب أن نتعامل معها بطريقة علمية، بطريقة نتفهم بها رؤية هؤلاء الشباب، لماذا كيف ينظرون إلى هذه الأمور. ولذلك وجدنا على كنار هذا منتدى نريد أن نسمع من الشباب. ومن هذا المنبر أحيي كل من يتجرأ ويخرج على كنار TV لايف ليتكلم دون خوف، ليعرف أنه على حق ويريد أن يصل صوته سواء إلى أهله أو إلى المجتمع بشكل عام، لأن الشباب هم نواة المستقبل، وبدونهم لن نستطيع أن نبني مستقبل زاهر ليس لنا فقط بل لكامل من يوجد على هذه الكرة الأرضية. اليوم معنا شاب وصبية، تي معروف. أهلا وسهلا فيك يا تي.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you.
ومعنا بهاء. أهلا وسهلا بهاء.
أهلا.
T, do you understand Arabic?
No, just a little bit.
A little bit. So we'll mostly speak in English, okay?
Okay.
So for those parents who does not speak English, please guys learn some English, huh?
I'm with
We
two
need.
of my friends too.
Sorry?
I'm with two of my friends as well.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Can I know their names?
Isabel and Chance.
Okay. Okay. Let me write it down because I'm bad with names. I'm old, guys. Isabel and Chance, yeah?
Yeah.
Sounds good. So we will discuss the relationship between the youth.
Okay.
We've heard a lot from older people, but we would like to hear from you guys.
Okay.
So let's start with Baha. Maybe Baha, I don't know if you would like to speak in English or Arabic. It's up to you. Everybody will understand. We live in this country, and we mostly speak English outside. We don't speak Arabic. So let our parents study something. So let's start with where do you think the relation comes, or when does it start between the youth? I don't mean between a boyfriend and girlfriend. We will go to that, but between you and when you start developing a real friendship with somebody.
I think that relationships start later than most people place them. Especially like a good friendship needs time. So you might meet someone and then be very close to them because you have a lot of shared interests, or because like that's the only available person at the time. But it takes a long time to develop an actually good friendship. A real person only shows up, like you only know how good a friend is after a long time. So I'd say about 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people who thought they had good friends, but then it turned out no, because they just haven't gone through any hardships with them. So yeah, I think it depends on the hardships, not specifically a certain time. But 7 years, you'll definitely know by then.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about you guys? Please introduce yourself when you speak, because 3 of you on one mic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Me, I think that most friendships begin by circumstance. So if you live in the same neighborhood, or if you attend the same programs, if you go to the same school, you're in the same class, and then you just build from there. But they start off like you see each other out of circumstance, and then the more you get to know one another, you get closer, and then you build relationships. And like Baha said, it takes time, obviously, to build a real friendship with people, but I feel like you can recognize who's sincere and who's not, after a certain amount of time. What do you guys think? So yeah, they agree with me.
You are too far. We can't hear you.
Yeah, that's it basically.
Who's speaking now?
It's just me.
Okay. Does Elizabeth or Chance want to say something?
How do you guys think friendships start?
Yeah, as you said, they start by circumstances, like, by situation, for example, school or any places, and then that's how, and they get developed.
That's Chance.
Okay. That Chance. Elizabeth? Isabella, sorry.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So when people see each other in school, in their classes, and then after that, if they really appreciate the person, they really try to know what type of person they are. And yes, and if you're able to hang outside of the circumstances, like hang out in outside of school, outside of your neighborhood, and really try to spend time together, and then that's how it really builds.
A real friendship. Yeah, I agree with her.
Okay.
I think real friendships are developed outside of the circumstances, but that's how you meet.
Yeah. So that's lead me to my second question, which is, how do you test your friendship? Do you really test your friendship, or you just leave it as is and you live your life? Do you need to test the friendship? Do you need to know, to be sure that this is a real friend, not just a person who I call, like, I know, but he's a real friend?
If you try to test the friendship, you're probably not a good friend.
Yeah.
Circumstances have to be the one that tests it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
How you get sure that he's a good friend?
Well, you'll never know 100%. There will always be some doubt, especially if you're a very doubtful person. But with time, you're gonna see that they help you more than not. They're there for you more than not. When you need them, you find them more than you don't. So things like that show up. You'll just know that that's a good friend. And if you don't, well, then maybe the proper circumstances just haven't come up. But you should never put the friendship in a position where it needs to be tested, because testing it means that it can fail. And if it fails, that's on you, because you put it in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you guys? You agree with him?
Yeah, I agree with Baha. I don't think you should intentionally test your friendship. I think that a lot of the times life is crazy and things happen that will test you anyways. So, like, don't force a test. The test is going to come regardless, and people eventually show their true colors, That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if someone flicks on you like 3 times, they're probably not a good person.
Facts.
What do you think? But from my experience, I don't want to emphasize my experience here. You've been like you had let's me about myself. I would like to say my experience. I had a lot of friends, and some of them, after some kind of situation, turned to be really, really bad people. Like, I could not say that. How could I spend that time? How could I trust this person? But if I would test him, I would not put myself in jeopardy at that time. What do you think?
Then you weren't testing, really. You were just reacting.
But I mean, for example, if you go and buy products from the supermarket, and you don't test this product and you keep it at home, you will always feel that this product is good because you never test it. But what do? You open the box and you start testing, and that time you will know that this product is good or bad.
Yeah, but you shouldn't do that with a friend. With a friend, you don't feel that they're good. You feel that they're neutral.
Okay.
They have to prove that they're good or bad. Anything before that, they're neutral. They're not a friend. They're someone you know. They become a friend after you test them.
Okay.
Not after you test them, but after they're tested.
Okay. They've been tested. Perfect. Sounds good. So,
what do you think, Tiziri?
I agree with you. I think that tests come about naturally, and I think you should always assume the best. And you can tell who your real friend is based on their actions towards you and how consistent they are in your friendship and how consistent they are in their good behavior towards you and their respect for you. So I don't feel like you have to go out of your way to test somebody to see if they're real or not. I think that if you do have to do that, that's a problem with yourself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
People will
You're
show
trying to
themselves.
start drama for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't start an issue.
Okay, I bet 4 of you know many people. Like, if you go and look into your cell phone, you will see like a numbers of hundreds of people, if not thousands.
No.
But how
I don't
many
know
of
anyone.
them you will call a friend?
Very good question, honestly.
Yeah, who would like to say
3,
that?
4?
This is Chance speaking.
Yes.
3, 4, as he's saying, like 3, 4, because now it's social media, everything is just virtual, and everything is just like a lot of people post, but they're not being real, so obviously not all of them are your real friends, and they're not really there to be your real friends. They're just there so you can get likes, so you can get, it's all for self-glorification. It has nothing to do with friendship. So to answer that question, I wouldn't call many of them my friends. Actually, very few of them are my friends. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Good. Anybody else that would like to say so? Yeah.
This is Isabel speaking.
Yep.
Yes, me too. Very few I would call my friends because there are many that I just met like in circumstances, and we just talk. For example, only in school. If we just have a project, and other than that, I will not be contacted. So yeah, but I feel like the real friends are people that you really keep up with time to time, just checking in on how they're doing, not because you want to get something from them, out of them, or like likes or attention. You really want to hang out with them because you truly appreciate them. And yes, thank you.
Yeah, so I actually disagree. I mean, I agree, but I disagree at the same time because I have a lot of friends. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but you're everywhere though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, it's not to boast. I happen to know a lot of people, and I happen to be friends with a lot of people. Like, there are a lot of people who I'll call and tell them to come see me, or I'll come see them, and like spend time with you outside of the circumstances. So obviously there are a lot of acquaintances on my social media. I know a lot of people, but we're not necessarily friends. But at the same time, I have a lot of friends, but I have very few close friends,
What's more? What do you think is more, your acquaintances or your friends?
I think my acquaintances is more than my friends.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
You're assuming I have friends.
Guys, what do you think about you opened this subject, the social media friendship?
Mm-hmm.
How
It's
do
not
you
a friendship.
feel it?
It's not a
Okay,
friendship.
go ahead. Go ahead,
You shouldn't describe it as that. Like, you shouldn't describe it as a social media friendship, because it's not. Because I think social media is like the street. You're never going to meet a friend on the street. You can take them there, but you're never going to meet them.
Do you know how I met your dad? Over the
Yeah, but then you went to each other's house.
Well, later
The
on.
amount of times I've seen you around here.
Okay, go ahead. I agree with you. But
I think social media is like a street. You're never going to meet a friend on the street. You might take them there, but you're going to have to meet them in a certain place. On the street, everyone's there. So technically everyone is your friend if that's the street. So we have to just be we have to be very cautious when we describe social media friendships, because they're not friendships. They're just a place to meet people, and then you decide from there, and they decide from there too.
Yeah, I agree with Baha. I think that social media is more about networking, and it's building connections with people. Like in the business world, as you get older, you build networks and connections with people, but you're not necessarily friends with them. It's just kind of like, you know,
business thing.
yeah, it's a business type of relationship.
What's his name?
Baha.
Jamal. Baha.
Okay. Yeah, this is Chan speaking, and I agree with Baha because on social media you can't really test character. Not test, but you can't really see character. You know, everybody just has this facade that they put on because you're supposed to act nice and act like this. But when you actually see them in a place, in a specific setting, you can see who this person really is. You know, whereas if it's on social media, it's very difficult to tell if this is a good friend or not a good friend, or if yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to give you an example from real life?
Sure.
Okay. Once I was going to Palestine on a trip that I never made before. So it was like a very critical, important trip in my life because first, it's one of its first time in my life. I didn't find a lot of information how to get in the visa and process, places to visit, not a lot on the social media. So I went to my Facebook and I was listing people who are living in that area, in Palestine area. Then I saw a guy, his name is Samir. I don't know if he's hearing us today, but anyway, he turned to be a doctor as me. So I sent him a message and said, Samir, my name is Jamal. We've been friends for a while. We never talked to each other, but I would like to know more about these places and how to get in. He said, you know what? When you will get closer to coming, just give me a call. This is my phone number. Send me a message, and I will meet you at the borders, and we will take it from there. So I went. I arrived almost on the border. I sent him a message. He said, you need around an hour on the border, so I will be outside after 1.5 hours. That's the distance from his house to the border. He drove all the way. We went before him, really. We waited around 20 minutes. He drove all the way. We went to his house. We never met before. My wife was telling me, are you sure we are meeting a Facebook friend? I said, yes. So we arrived to his house. They were very nice people. They fed us. Then they drove us to another city to see that city. Then we went back to their house. I said, okay, we want to now to have a hotel. I said, what hotel? This is the Arabic way, guys. What hotel? You will sleep at our house. We already prepared your room. And tomorrow morning, we're going to that place, to other city. Then he made a plan for us. 7 days, guys. He never left us. And my wife could not believe that we met only on Facebook.
Well, yeah, she's right. Because, first of all, bad idea, human trafficking. So, don't do that.
He's a grown man, Baha. There's a difference.
Nah, grown men are the people who do human trafficking.
Oh, yes.
So, you shouldn't do that. Also, you got lucky that he was a good friend. There was a very probable chance that he wasn't. And if he wasn't, then good luck getting anywhere. Also...
Well, it's worth a try.
Well, it's worth a try, but it's not worth the risk. Getting stranded
I had
somewhere
the
you
same
don't know.
experience in Madagascar, by the way.
Well, you have a lot of risks, man.
The same experience.
I agree with him. I think that you can make some real friendships on social media, but like I said, it's more of a network thing. It's not necessarily a real, genuine friendship like bond. But it's like, oh, let's say you're in Palestine, I'm coming to Palestine, and we've been friends on social media for a long time, and I say, hey, I'm coming to Palestine, can you show me around? A lot of times, people are going to be cool with that. They're going to say, yeah, sure, especially because, it's a very Arab thing. So, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, like Baha is saying, like, that's not always the case.
Yeah, it's not a good idea to do that, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's one of the tests that for a friendship. But that's a big one to start with, so maybe don't.
Very true.
Okay, so my next question is, what do you think lasts more, a friendship at primary school? You guys there are same age of Baha, so
Yeah.
okay. So what do you think so far works for friendship? The friendship in the primary school. Do you still have some friends? I know some of you moved from one country to another, or mostly closer to your age. So I would say the high school friendship.
None. Like, I have a really bad experience with friendships. I don't know why I suggested this topic. In
That's why I was
primary
invited,
school,
huh?
what?
That's why you invited me, huh?
Yeah, probably, because I know you have a lot of friends. You have a lot of experience on this. For me, like, friendships, like, they build over time. So as long as you're growing, your friendships are growing. So it doesn't matter when the friendship started, it matters when you start calling it a friendship. So yeah, you can start in high school, but then if you look back at it from like 10 years from now, that's going to be a really good friendship. And if you start looking back at the friendships you had in primary school, in high school, then those friendships are going to be really good friendships. It depends how long you give it to rest.
Okay. What about you
Friendships need
guys
to
over
age.
there? Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is Isabel speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would say real friendships, we can find like real friends probably after high school, like in university or something like that, because in primary school and in high school it's like everyone is put in this place together, and then like everyone just plays together, so obvious, yes. So obviously it's like um you're just being really general, like everyone is playing, like you're kind of forced to be in that institution. And also in high school it becomes a place where people want to really fit in, so they will really hang out with you, or just because they don't want to seem like they're alone, or just because they want to be popular, and then they pretend to smile and laugh. Yes. So yeah, but really after that said, when you get into real life, like university, it's like there's no more cliques, there's no more groups, like everyone is doing their own thing. And it's like you realize like it's your decision to really hang out with the people that relate to you. So you don't need to impress anyone. You're just living your own life. So that's where like if you're you make real.
Yeah, Isabel's in just finished her first year of university, so that's why she's speaking from that.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, me personally, I wasn't in Canada for primary school. I was in the UK for primary school, so I still have friends from primary school. Like if I go back to the UK, there's people I'll go visit, but it's not necessarily a close friendship because I've changed a lot from my childhood until now. And a lot of the friends that I've made that are my realest friends today, I made them either right before high school or like early years of high school, but I didn't meet them in school. I met them in my neighborhood. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, do you?
This
I'm
is
sorry. Yeah, Chance, go ahead.
sorry. This is Chan speaking. I was gonna say that it's not really about the time for me. It's about your mentality and where you're at as a person in your life. Cause in elementary school, your mentality is just to play, hang out, and like just have fun. And but right now in my life, it's like, okay, I know I know which type of people I want in my life. Like I'm discerning characters. I know who I want, and I know which type of vibe I want to bring in my life. So for me to answer that question, it's like it's more about where you're at in your life and like the information that you have about yourself and who you want to allow in your life. So yeah.
That's good. That's good. So my next question, I would say, do you think there is a huge difference between the way male look at friendship with the females? Is there a difference between them, or they're the same? Does
Bro.
this sixth gender play a role in friendship?
100%. 100%.
How?
How do you think it? Do you think like ladies more emotional with friendship than male? Male are more like business oriented. What do you think? Like,
I feel like females, they're really, I don't know, they like to speak about their emotions, what they're going through and stuff like that, and men aren't really like that, at least in my experience. Like, not like that. But men, they don't really talk like that, you know.
You ain't
they're
wrong.
more like, oh, what's happening now, let's do this, let's do that, you know, like on the go. I don't know, it's very different. And also like friendship, I don't think we can talk about that, because I don't believe that a man and a girl, I mean a man and a woman can be friends. I don't believe that. Do you guys believe that?
I mean, nah. after some point, nah, not really. But like you have to. Okay, in the beginning stages, no. But after you get over that first big step, yes.
What's
Like
the
it
big
has.
step?
what's the big step?
After you get over yourself.
What do you mean?
You're
So-
saying no, you can't be friends in the beginning. Yes, you can be friends later on, or no, you can't be friends. But then, what are you saying?
It's going to be different because between two straight guys, the friendship is going to be way smoother. But
Yeah.
because like if there's attraction between the two people, you have to
Yeah.
get over that first to become friends.
I
Can they
agree.
really get over that though?
Yeah, some people can. Many people can't, but
I
some people
disagree.
can.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah, I don't think people can get over that attraction. Me personally, the way I see it is that a lot of young girls want to be friends with guys. They want to have boy best friends, you know. But a lot of young men do not want to have female friends. They're not interested in having a friendship with a female unless there's something that can come from that.
Exactly.
That's what I've seen.
Okay, so this is a very important topic we would like to speak about. I was like shy to ask this question, but now as you open it, it's a good good time to talk about it. So there is a difference between a boyfriend and girlfriend, which we know that is like two people dating, and a male or female friend, which is a friend really you depend on. Do you think at this age that there is a difference between a female or male friend and boyfriend and girlfriend? Is there a difference, or you can't make this difference?
There is a difference, but like one can lead to the other. It's like there is a difference between a guy being friends with a girl and a guy dating a girl. There is a difference. That's why they're called different names. But like I think they start at the same place.
Yeah.
They just take very different paths.
This is Sean speaking, and that is exactly why I think that a man and a woman cannot be friends, because like for them to be girlfriend, they start with a friendship. So I don't understand how they can just be friends. Like one will eventually get attracted to the other person subconsciously.
Do you think exes can be friends?
No.
Good point.
Why they can't be friends?
They cannot be friends because like they're gonna rekindle what they had in the first place, you know.
Well, if they like, look, I don't know, but if I had a bad life with a person that as a marriage, yeah, or a boyfriend and girlfriend, but we found another chance, let's divorce or end this friendship or relation nicely, politely, and we can keep like depend on each other, like help each other in some cases. You don't think that's possible?
What would you call it? If not a
I
friendship,
would
what would
call
you call
an
it?
acquaintance.
Yes,
You know, there's boundaries. It's not a
Yes,
friendship.
it's
I'm
not
not
a
gonna call
friendship.
you and tell you, oh, I'm going through this, that. You know what I'm saying? We can be on good terms. We can be cordial, but we cannot be friends.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it can happen, but just it takes a very specific type of person to be able to do it. Because I know I can't.
I don't think it's about specific people. I think, as she said, it's about boundaries. It's about like yeah, putting boundary, because now she can't call you and be like, oh, come do this all the time. Like, you know, you guys can't be friends.
But also,
I think, yeah.
I feel like you have to consider that even if you yourself are not that person, that's calm. But maybe they are. You know, when it comes to a
Yeah.
relationship, there's two people now.
Yeah.
So now you have to take into consideration how this person moves. And it's not common enough that you'll find two people who were together and who can break up and be friends, just
But
friends.
it is possible. It's
Of
not.
course,
It's
there's
not
a
an
slight
impossible
possibility,
thing.
but it's
Yeah,
very rare. It's an anomaly, you know.
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm
the
saying.
rule of
It is
thumb would
possible, but
be
it's just
don't.
either a bad idea or very rare.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So, what do you think about this boyfriend-girlfriend relation?
I think it's important.
Okay.
Really?
I think it's important because I know that many older people would disagree because some of them have only had like their first wife and that's it. But I think that it's very important in a relationship to be able to know who you are and where you're comfortable being.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to test your boundaries and to be able to place them. Because if you go into a relationship just full on and you just start discovering things, someone's gonna get hurt. So having that kind of test relationship is useful. Now, whether or not that test relationship turns into something bigger, that's to be decided.
I personally, I disagree. I don't think anybody should ever date boyfriend, girlfriend. That's nonsense. I just feel like there's so much more harm in that than benefit. So just avoid it. Because yes, there is benefit. People obviously they make the claim, you know, oh, you learn what you like and what you're attracted to and how you act in a relationship. But you don't necessarily need to know all of that. You have a general idea. If you know yourself, you'll have a general idea of what is attractive to you, what type of person you are, what type of person you like. You don't have to go and get into an actual relationship with somebody, especially when, you know, you're so young. Really, what are you going to gain from creating an emotional attachment and bond to somebody who you can never actually really be with on a real level?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, you know, I just feel like it's stupid. You know, it's a stupid decision to make. Don't do that.
It is a stupid decision, but that's how you learn from stupid decisions.
It's a very
I
hard one.
understand, but you know what? There's a proverb and it says, a smart person learns from their own mistakes, but a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. You don't have to experience it yourself to know better. You should know better based on what you see around you. A lot of these relationships end up with, you know, accidental pregnancies. They end up with abuse. They end up with people being heartbroken and they can't get over them and they're still in love with them. And then it affects their future relationships and they have all these trust issues and all this baggage that they're carrying that you wouldn't have to carry unless you just stayed away from that in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying that people should have to learn from what's around them, but what's around you isn't always clear. You can be you can look at other people's relationships, but that won't tell you enough about how you act, because everyone can act smart. Everyone knows how to act.
Yeah.
But it takes a very restrained kind of person. They have to know exactly what they want to be able to actually get it. For example, if you're looking at a relationship from the outside, then you know how both people should act to resolve their problems. But if you're in it, that's a different situation, because then your feelings are involved.
Yeah, I understand.
That's why therapy exists.
Yeah, of course, I understand. I know. But I just think that people should look into themselves and who they are. They don't need to know how they're going to act in a relationship. You don't need to know that. You need to know who you are and what you want. And then
how
you
are you
can
going to
go
find
and get
that out, though?
What do you mean? How do you find that out? Introspection. Spend time with yourself. You know, and it's like, even, okay, you don't have to get into a relationship to be attracted to someone. You can have crushes. You can be attracted to someone, or, you know, like people say, have a thing, or, you know, just talk to people, and you can get to know from that basic interaction what you're interested in without having built an emotional attachment to this person. You know, you don't have to put the label on it and get into an actual relationship for you to understand.
But in an actual relationship, and if it's your first relationship, there's going to be a learning curve, and people can get hurt in that learning curve.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. So why would you sacrifice an actually good relationship for that learning curve? Why not go at a time where everything is like considered a learning stage to go learn from?
But everything is a lesson. Everything is a learning thing.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but he just said, why would you sacrifice a good relationship for a learning curve? Everything you're gonna learn, everything is a learning curve in life.
Yeah, but you can have some really sharp learning curves and some not as sharp learning curves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For example, like if you have a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and if it's the first relationship, that's going to be a big learning curve. But if you've had like some of them before you get actually married, then you actually know what you're doing by the time you get married.
Hi. Yeah, I understand, but I just feel like in today's society, you can have everything from a relationship without having to be in an actual relationship. So why?
Yeah, but like that's not really a relationship.
No, but it is though. You can everything that you get in a relationship.
Bro, you're muted.
Sorry, there's somebody in the neighborhood talking to us. No, everything you get into a relationship, you can get outside of a relationship as well. It depends on what you want to label it. But when you build a serious, deep emotional connection with somebody, that can really affect you negatively in your future. Why do that so young? Because if you're not gonna, let's say,
so you know how to get over it when the time actually comes for you to actually do the right thing, to do the final step. You have to know how to get over it. That's what having these early relationship gets you. It gets you the ability to move on early. So you're not. So okay, let's say someone has a relationship in high school, and they can have a relationship either in high school or in university, where it actually matters. In university, if you have a relationship and it flops, then you just wasted a whole lot of time because you're trying to get over it. You put things where they shouldn't be. If you try to get over a bad relationship in university, then that's going to waste a lot of time. That can waste your future. But if you try to get over it in high school, then now you actually have time to learn. You have time to mess up.
Yeah,
but in an but where it matters, you don't.
Yeah, I understand.
When your time is valuable, you can't waste it on relationships.
But you're saying that as if you're gonna break up. You're gonna have to learn to break up. Bro, if you just avoid boyfriend and girlfriend relationships, and then you had, like, as you get older and you get into a place where you want to get married, okay? Let's say you're Muslim, you want to do it in a religious way. Let's say you're Christian, you want to do it in a religious way. Well, whatever the way you want to do it, but you want to get married. Let's say you go into this marriage now. Don't assume that you're going to break up. Don't assume that you're going to have to move on from this person. You know what I'm saying? Not every relationship is going to be like that. Boyfriend and girlfriend, you can go into that and know, yeah, this is not going to work out. But that's foolish, because you know it's not going to work out. Nothing's going to come from it. You're just building an emotional connection and a bond with somebody, and then you have to get over it. If you don't get into those relationships, you don't have to get over it. If you get married and things don't work out, okay, that's maktub, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fate. That's what's meant. But you don't go into it assuming that it's not going to work out, because then what's the point?
Yeah, but why does it not work out? Because of the small intricacies that you have to learn through time. So if you don't learn them before you get into a serious relationship, then that's not going to work out.
Not really. I think it just depends on who you are as an individual, and it's all about you looking at yourself and checking yourself and keeping yourself in check when you're in a relationship and when you're not in a relationship.
It is true, but not every person can learn on their own. So I think it's a useful learning tool for people who need it. Some people just can't learn on their own, so it's a useful learning tool.
I understand, but I'm saying, even if let's say you did marriage, you know, if you yourself can't learn on your own, then maybe, if you know that's not how you learn, then involve a couple other people, like marriage counseling, or, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily your family, because that can be a problem, but maybe some of your friends, or some of your distant friends, or somebody like a professional, you know what I'm saying? Get outside help. You don't have to get into a relationship. There's more harm in a relationship than benefit. That's how I see it personally. So I just feel like if you go into marriage and then things don't work out, well, that's just what it is. But at least you tried, you know? Don't go into it with the idea that things are not going to work out. I'm going to have to learn to move on from this person. I'm going to have to learn how to heal a broken heart. You know, ideally, you shouldn't ever have to break your heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's ideally.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying you could live in an ideal world because it's your own world. See what it is when it comes to relationships and friendships. You choose that. You put yourself in that position. You made that decision to continue building a relationship with somebody, whether that relationship is romantic or platonic. Like that's not your that's your choice now. So make the decision to build an ideal world for yourself. You can't control other people. You can control your actions. If you know you're going into a relationship with the idea that, oh, this is not going to work out, well, then you've started off on the wrong foot. But if you go into a relationship with the idea, I'm going to put everything I can do to make this work, then hopefully if the other person also plays his part or her part, then it's okay. But if they don't play their part, but you've played your part, when you leave, you're not going to be regretful or disappointed in yourself because it's not your fault that it's ended, it's their fault, you know.
By the way, Muthanna, say big hi for you guys. Amazing discussion. He's very pleased of this discussion. But he raised a point that I don't know how you agree or disagree with that. He said the recent generation built their relation of money and other especially between man and woman. So money is the most important. While most of the old generation moral built on how to help, love, and show real pure assistance and respect to each other. What do you think?
I think we'll know with time because the younger generation didn't get old yet.
Oh my God.
That's fair.
We'll just know
good.
with time.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think people get more material these days, or
Yes.
I think there's more material, and people in general are today, like the young people today, are less rich than the old people of today. So of course there's going to be money involved because money is just, you need to live. So like, yeah, I think it's going to be an important part of it. But something built on money, let's not act like that didn't exist back then.
what
That's
about
true.
you guys there?
Do we think that these younger relationships are built on money?
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think so. I don't think young relationships, I think it depends.
I think there's a lot of gems out there.
Yeah, no, but I just feel like a lot of the time, like young people, at least people that I know, they get into relationships because getting into a relationship is a trend, or because they're lonely and they're lacking love in their own life, so they seek it elsewhere. Like they have their own issues. It's not about money, because there's ways to make money in this world that don't require a relationship, you know. There's like easy, the fast life, right? Like it's easy to make money. So I don't think money is the root of it. I think actually it's the opposite. I think the older generation was more worried about money than this generation.
Perhaps.
You know? Because I feel like obviously in older times, relationships were more business transactions. It was based on, you know, whether you're going to provide financial stability for your spouse as a man. And what's it called? And these days, people don't really worry about that because men and women can work. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to make money today. It doesn't require necessarily labor, you know. Obviously, it depends what you want to do. But there are ways to make money that don't require you to work hard and make sacrifices, you know. So I think that today, relationships are built on something that the person is lacking in themselves, and they're seeking it elsewhere. In the wrong places.
Do you think it's a good idea?
It's a good idea to what?
To build a relationship based on what you don't have?
I don't know, you know, that's sticky. I feel like naturally, you're made to be in a relationship. Like if you think about, like, for example, a man and his wife, like they both bring different things to the table that benefit and complement one another, you know? And I think that it's a good thing to get into a relationship because there's something that you want your man to bring to the table that you can't necessarily bring to the table. But I think that it shouldn't be the main reason. Yeah. What do you think, Baha?
That dissent I hear?
Nah. Like, I don't. Okay. If you're walking in the relationship with the intention of getting something from the other person, I believe that that's wrong, 100%. Like, it makes no sense. I understand what Tizri is saying, that like obviously you guys are two different individuals, so you guys bring different things to the table. But if you go with the intention of getting something because you don't have it. That's just selfishness, you know?
Wait, what's the something you're talking about? Because there are some people get into it for the money. Some people get into it for, you know, not being lonely.
Sorry, could you repeat?
Some people get into relationships for the money, and some people get into it because they're not lonely, because they're feeling lonely. So both are getting something out of it. But what thing is wrong? So I don't think it's wrong to look for a relationship if you're lonely.
Yes, it is. Well, no. In my opinion, it is. Because
So why should someone get into a relationship?
why should somebody get into a relationship? Because your goal should be to serve the other person, and the other person their goal should be to serve you. So if you guys have those two same mentality, that's great. But when it's like, okay, I'm lonely, so I need you to feed my spirit, that's like he's just pouring into you and you're not bringing anything to him.
Wait. So what you're saying is that people lack someone to serve, so what they're looking for in a relationship is someone to serve. So they're getting something out of it.
Yes, but it's not like, oh, I'm serving myself.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not
serving
like,
yourself through them.
How? What?
Through them. You're saying that you need that the goal of a relationship should be for both people to help each other.
Yes.
So that's what they're getting out of it. Someone to help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everyone's
getting
getting something out of a relationship. The difference, I think that what you were objecting to was that relationships shouldn't be materialistic.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yes.
But I have
But everyone's
Amira,
getting to go into a relationship and come out of it with nothing. Now you just wasted your time.
That's true. Tell them.
That's
nothing.
true.
What do you mean, Ferrari?
That's what I was saying. Like, you're serving the other person. Like, you're bringing something to the table.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we've been saying.
Okay. So, joke aside, Amira said she was surprised that somebody brought that older generation that care about love and care and help more than money. But she said it's not a question of money. The time here is very materialistic. Today, that the relation is sure based on material.
Welcome to capitalism.
You you change your
Our whole
partners
life
today
is
as
based
like
on material.
bonjour. Sorry, go ahead.
Our whole life is based on materials. Everyone's looking for what's going to pay next month's rent. So of course you're not going to have time to be very invested in things as you did back in the day. But once again, the younger generation hasn't grown up yet, so we won't really know until it's over. But what you're saying is that it's not a question of money, that the times now are very materialistic. Well, yeah, because the world in general has gotten more materialistic, because capitalism develops. The rich get richer, and people who are born into poverty are going to get poorer. So of course they're going to be more materialistic.
Of course.
Money, income inequality. People who need money are going to go looking for it, but they're still going to try to maintain relationships.
So we have to blame ourselves that we left you guys this materialistic life.
Yes, exactly.
Do you agree, guys?
Yeah, I think so, definitely, bro. Materials run the world. Money moves, money talks. People are in need of money. You can't really survive in this world without money. So if people are gonna seek money through relationships, they're gonna do that, and they're gonna find it, because a lot of people are willing to pay for relationships.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So let's speak about this deeper. How do you think
Wait, what does this comment mean? I want to know.
Okay.
Something about pick me off.
I want to talk about this. This is the comments I want to talk to. So are you going to get if you want to choose a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a friend in general, are you going to think about their material status, or I would say financial status, before you go in, or this is the least you think about? Let's be true. Let's say the truth.
Are you going to take a deadbeat?
You talking to me?
I'm taking all of us.
Okay. I think it's different between a man and a woman.
Yeah. Like when you're looking for a spouse, that's going to be different from when you're looking for a friend.
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
exactly. I
gotcha.
think with my friends, I don't care how much money you make.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all poor anyway.
Exactly.
Okay. What about
But when it comes
spouse?
to your husband,
Yeah, when it comes to my husband, that's a very different case.
Yeah, you, like
Okay.
you gotta
I
be
want
able
to
to
hear
provide
your
for your
opinion.
family.
Exactly, because my husband's gonna be responsible for providing for my family. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you can't. It's not that you can't be
Don't
broke.
act surprised.
But isn't that you ladies asking for equality and
Not me, not me, sir.
She wants to have the choice of being equal and the choice of not being equal.
Pardon?
You want to have the choice of going both ways.
No. I'm very happy with my rights. I'm very happy with my rights as a
I-
Muslim woman. Look, and I'm very happy with the fact that whatever I need to do to maintain my relationship with my man is calm. But my man's position is to be the breadwinner, to be the one providing for me and my family. So do that, and I'll maintain what I need to maintain while you maintain what you need to maintain. There's no issues.
What about the ladies with you?
What do you think?
I think it depends on like your background and the way you believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's very different from you, like what you believe in the way that you see the relationship from
Mhm.
my side of, you know, because me, I'm Christian, you're Muslim,
Mhm.
and like you have regulation that the man should do
Mhm.
and like what you should do.
Yeah.
And it would be different from an atheist,
Yeah.
you know? So
But I think
I
it's
don't know.
also it's culturally too.
yeah,
because
that's what I meant to say.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
cultural.
earlier today I was speaking to this Tunisian girl, and she was telling me how her family brought her up to be very school oriented and very focused in school, and they paid for a private school, and her dad is always telling her like, I paid so much money for you to go to school, you better get a good job. You know, there's no way you're gonna be a housewife. That's not happening. And so I respect that. Of course, if this is how you were brought up and this is what you want to do, you want to go work, you want to make your own money, okay, you do you, that's your business. But me personally, I don't have that same level of ambition, you know? So and I know that it's my right Islamically, right? As because I'm gonna marry a Muslim man, his position is to provide for me. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be hassled like, oh, you're not making a certain amount of money, I can't marry you because of that. I think it's about, you know, your ambition, and it's about whether you're gonna show that you're somebody who's worth investing in, or if you're not, you know. And if you're not, then there's nothing happening here. But if you are, then we can have a conversation.
But remember how Nora told us that like the guy has to have a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Like he has to be making a certain amount of money.
course.
Otherwise his family will they won't accept him.
I mean, it depends. To each their own. You know what I'm saying? To each their own. I think if a man comes with projects and he's coming like with ambition, and you can tell he's serious about his craft, and maybe he's not exactly where he wants to be right now, but you can tell he's serious, and he's what's the word? Motivated.
If he's going places, go with him.
He's going places, exactly. He's going places, go with him. I love that. I'm gonna steal that.
Plagiarism.
What about you, Baha?
I mean, yeah, sure.
It's
I mean,
the opposite. Do you think the status of your lady is important? The financial?
I like status. Like, if my lady doesn't have status, like, you ain't gonna leech from me. Sorry. Like, I want her to have a specific amount of status. I want her to have her own ambitions in life.
Yes.
But at the same time, for some reason, when I think about it, I don't want her to make more than me because I feel insecure about that.
Uh-huh.
Because if she's making more than me, and if she's supporting the house financially, then what's my job again?
Exactly.
What am I around?
That's what I'm saying today.
So, like, I honestly can't think of my job if she's supporting the house financially. I really can't. I'm probably gonna become like a house husband or something.
You know?
Like, I can cook. Like, I can cook.
Well, there is an Arabic movie called The Husband of Four. So he decided to stay home, cook, do everything at home, and he married four ladies. They were all like working in financial and good status. So it's a comedy. You need to watch it if you can. So Nisreen said, I think both people should be financially responsible and contribute. It's time to break away from the glitch that man is the provider. You can't depend on a man 100%. What if something happened? This is a different world we live in. Both partners should be ambitious, work to be independent. Your relation should be parallel, and you have to find the balance in the relation.
I think it depends on the person. Some people can have the relationships but be independent, but some people can't. Like, not everyone can find their place in a relationship where they're both the same. Some people need to see a difference to fill.
Yeah. Also, I think like, it depends. I think that's more of an ideal belief. Like, oh, ideally, me and my man will both be contributing and we'll both be making money, and that's all good and well until the position where you have kids, and then who's taking care of your kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you'll be on maternity leave, but how long do you want to be on maternity leave for? Do you want to have somebody taking care of your children, or do you want to be the one to take care of them? Because if you're the one if you want to take care of your children, you don't want to have a nanny or somebody else taking care of those kids. You have to be at home. You cannot be working and taking care of children at the same time. So now it's your man's position to be providing for you and your child. So ideally, yeah, you can say, oh, me and my man, we're gonna both put in work, we're both gonna have money, but when you have a child, things change, and then somebody's gonna have to, you know, somebody's gonna have to take a position based on whatever you want to do for yourself. Me personally, I'm not gonna let somebody else raise my child, so I'm gonna
also, not all countries have paternity leave.
Exactly. So
yeah,
you know
like
what I'm saying?
many countries have maternity leave where the mother can stay behind, but not all countries have paternity leave where the father can stay behind. It's like, it's built into our culture that the man is the one going out on like, when it comes to kids, it's built into our culture that the woman would want to stay behind.
Of course.
Even though that's not always the case.
Exactly. So I think that, yeah, okay, as we move into the 21st century, people want to be ideal and they want to say, oh, women should be working and women should be doing this. But I think to each their own. If a woman wants to work, she can work. If a man doesn't want his wife to work, then they need to have that conversation before they get married, you know?
Yeah.
And then they also need to have that conversation about their future children and their prospects before they get married, because not every man is going to be comfortable having a nanny or somebody else taking care of their child. Maybe they get into the relationship and they're okay with their spouse paying money for a bit, but then when they actually have a child, now the man is saying, no, I want you to stay home, and the wife is saying, no, I spent 10 years in school to get this job, I'm not going to stay home, and then it causes more problems. So you have to have that conversation before.
There isn't a recipe for everyone. People should be comfortable with their own choice. And that's the whole point of the human progress that we've been doing in gender relations. That people should be comfortable making their own choice and shouldn't be pressured into a certain choice.
Exactly, I agree. I think it's all based on you individually, how you feel and how your partner feels.
So you two that are commenting here, I mean, yeah, sure, but you know, it's a choice.
I think you guys making here debates, but over there in a discussion, there is another debate about the role of women. I would like to invite these two ladies, Nisreen maybe and Amira, to come and talk about it in public, because it's good to hear more opinion. And so my last question to you guys, and I will answer one question before that. Somebody asking me, what is my opinion? I'm not here to impose my opinion. I'm here to listen, and that's why we make this forum, the Muntada الشباب, for parents to listen. We need to hear this generation. We don't want to impose our thinking and just put our ideas in front of them and say, yes, this is right because we lived it. This is right because we believed in it. This is right because it must be like this. No, we have to hear them. We have to listen to what they want to know, what they want to say, and how they want to do it with their future. So I don't want to say anything. Maybe something I agree with, something not. But again, this is their life and this is their future and ours.
I'd like to say something to Nasreen really quick.
Yeah,
yeah, you're talking about the stories that happened, but okay, that's anecdotal. What about the stories where that didn't happen? What about the stories where both did their part and nothing bad happened? Also, you're saying that the woman is being left with nothing, but here in Canada, the man gets left with nothing because he gets to pay alimony. What happens then? Different cultures have different perspectives on things, so you can't be putting a blanket statement or be forcing women to choose both. She doesn't have to choose her career and her children. she can choose either, and that's the whole point. The point is to give her the ability to choose.
Amen.
Good job, guys. My last questions to you, and I will leave you on that. What do you think of the marriage way? We used to have it through friends,
Arranged meeting.
arranged marriage, I would say. Like somebody knows somebody, your mom knows a lady somewhere. Then later on, it starts working with a relation, especially if you work, if you go to school or to university and over there. Nowadays, I've heard a lot more of people like meeting and dating by social media. Where do you think it's going? Is it going back? Because social media is, again, it's arranged marriage, yeah?
You shouldn't
It's
date.
another
You
way.
shouldn't date through social media. I've never seen a relationship that worked out like that.
Okay.
Like,
But it's
let's be honest. If you can't get your hands on the person you're seeing, nah.
Fair enough.
yep. What about you guys?
Me, I don't have a problem with the arranged thing. I mean, no, because it's not forced. It's just like, let's say, it's
Yeah.
just
That's
like
why
matchmaking.
the name is bad. Saying
Yeah, the
arranged
name is
marriage.
bad
That's why I
'cause it
said
makes
arranged
it seem
meeting.
like, yeah, exactly. But it's not like that. It's just like, oh, let's say I have a friend who I think would work really well with my other friend, and I put them together. It's just matchmaking, you know. But personally, I don't see an issue with that. But obviously, it's not common amongst youth. You'll only find it in like, I don't even think it's common in our generation. I think you'll only find it with people who, you know, like let's say like people who are really practicing and they really want to do it like in the most halal way. You know what I'm saying? To each their own, obviously, at the end of the day. I think more time you'll find people who are dating from relationships online. Or if they're not, if they haven't met online, maybe they've met in person. Online is where they've like actually built a bond with them, you know? But I don't think that's the smartest way to go about it. So,
Which one?
Also, Nisreen
online,
here is like she's saying that we need to stop giving men a platform for abuse by allowing him to have the upper hand. Yeah, you're right. Men shouldn't have that upper hand. That's why, you know, we live in Canada where the justice system is heavily biased towards women. And you're saying that that most men try to get out of alimony. Well, yeah, because it's an unfair system where they have to keep paying and until she gets into a new relationship. It's very unfair. Why should she take his money and when they leave? That's what forced people into going into boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, because marriage is a failed institute in the West.
Of course.
Good job. Good job. Guys, it was very, very productive debate. I loved it. And I would like to thank personally Baha, Tia, or T, yes? Isabella, Chance. It was very nice meeting you, maybe virtually, but again, you all made very good points. Some of them we agree with, some of them we're not, but we respect your opinion. We respect what you said and what you want to do in your future life. This is your chance to choose, because this is the best time to be productive. And I wish you all the best, guys. You deserve it. I am very proud of you all.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
I hope to see you next week, inshallah. Here.
Yeah, bye.
Enjoy it, guys. Enjoy it. So باسم كنار بنشكر الجميع، بنشكر كل شخص كان معنا سواء لايف أو حضر هذا اللقاء. هذا اللقاء زي ما حكينا ليس لنكون نحن السلطة العليا على الشباب، بل لنسمع رأي الشباب في أمور. زي ما أنتم شفتوا معظم الحلقة أنا كنت تقريبا صامت، لأني أريد أن أسمع ماذا يفكر الشباب، وهذا شيء جيد لأن نبدأ من هذه النقطة لننطلق. وكان في عندنا ديبيت رائع بين بعض الإخوان اللي علقوا أو الأخوات اللي علقوا. أتوقع إنه إذا نسرين تتواصل معنا، أو نسرين طبعا هي معنا في القناة، عشان نقدر ننسق مع أميرة ويطلعوا في فريندلي ديبيت عن هذا الموضوع، لأنه موضوع مهم. ممكن نحطه في حلقة هير برسبكتيف إذا وجدنا هذا الأمر أكثر، لأنه نظرة نسائية لموضوع مهم جدا. فخلينا نناقش هذا الموضوع. again
برضه
بشكركم
بدي
جميعا.
احكي شيء هون، انه
تفضل.
في كم من كومنت طلعوا من الدكتور جمال الشريف، دكتور جمال الشريف وكنار تي في لايف. هذول كانوا مني، بس لاني انا عامل لوجن على الاكونت الغلط، فيعني
It's
طلعوا
okay.
باسمك.
It's okay. No worries. No
You
worries.
took my opinion الصراحة، يعني what can I do?
Anyway, thank you guys for being with us again. إن شاء الله نراكم الأسبوع القادم في حلقة متميزة برضو من منتدى الشباب، لكن نترككم اليوم في ضيافة الرحمن، ونقول لكم تصبحون على ألف خير.